At the beginning of this story, we are shown an old woman,
whose name is Barb.
Barb is sitting sadly in front of the urn containing the ashes of her recently deceased husband. She puts some essential items in her truck and attaches that photo on the front of the truck and sets out on the miles-long snowy road so that she can fulfill her husband's last wish. Actually, she wants to scatter her husband's ashes in that same frozen lake where many years ago their first meeting had happened. After driving a short distance, because of the snowfall, snow starts gathering on her truck too. It becomes very difficult for her to see the road ahead. Somehow she stops the truck at a safe place and takes out a map and tries to understand the route to the lake, but she cannot understand in which direction she should go. She gets out of the truck and falls into thought about what she should do now. Just then she hears the sound of something colliding from somewhere far away. So she takes her truck and starts moving in the direction of that sound and reaches a lonely cabin covered with snow. There she sees an old man cutting wood. Now, as soon as Barb moves toward him, her eyes fall on the blood stains lying on the ground. That old man suddenly gets startled after seeing Barb. Barb, smiling, says, "Forgive me. I didn't intend to scare you. I just wanted to ask the way to the lake." Then that old man tells her that the lake is on the other side of the hill. After this, Barb says thank you and asks, "Are you okay? There is blood here." But that old man says that it is just deer blood and leaves from there and taking her truck again, passing through snow-filled roads, finally reaches that lake. This is the same lake where Barb and her husband had their first meeting. After reaching here, Barb becomes very emotional. When she remembers her past, tears come into her eyes. She remembers when she used to come here with her husband. Both of them used to sit together and fish on the ice. Now, just as she is about to scatter her husband's ashes on the lake, suddenly from nearby, she hears the sound of a gunshot. Hearing the gunshot, Barb gets scared. She quickly runs and hides behind her truck. Just then she sees a girl staggering and running near the lake, and that same old man carrying a gun is chasing her. He says to the girl that if she tries to run anymore, then he will kill her. Barb tries to call the police, but there is no network there. Now, after they leave, she quickly gathers all her things and tries to leave from there in her truck. But her truck gets stuck in snow at one place, after which she is forced to go back toward the man's cabin. But suddenly she sees that the old man is going somewhere in his truck. Finding the opportunity, Barb reaches that cabin, and when she looks through the basement window, inside, she sees that same girl, tied up with tape on her mouth. Barb quietly asks her. Just then, two vehicles arrive there, and this time along with the old man. His wife is also there, who has a gun in her hand. Barb hides outside and tries to listen to their conversation. From their conversation, she learns that the old man has kidnapped that girl secretly, on his wife's orders, and now they are planning to kill that girl, and she quickly runs back to her truck so she can find some solution to help that girl. On the other side, inside the cabin, a girl's glove lying outside the cabin. Then she starts suspecting. She becomes certain that someone is outside, trying to help that girl. Seeing this makes her very angry. She asks her husband. Then her husband says, "I don't know, but a while ago a woman came and asked the way to the lake. Maybe she wrote this message." She gets frightened and says that if that woman saw something, then everything will be ruined. And she picks up a gun and forcefully drags her husband
toward the lake
with the intention of killing Barb. But here Barb first uses her old ice fishing shed, brought with her as bait. And as soon as the old man goes near the shed, suddenly he falls into the icy lake water through a hole that Barb had prepared. The man's wife pulls him out of the water. By then, taking the opportunity, Barb reaches their cabin and, to save the girl, somehow breaks the basement door. But upon reaching downstairs, she sees that they have tied the girl with chains and even put a lock on it. The girl is very scared. Barb assures her that she will save her. But as soon as she comes outside, the old man's wife shoots her, and the bullet hits Barb's hand. Barb somehow runs and disappears in the snow. When both of them return to the house, The old man starts shivering badly, but Barb had soaked. Barb returns to her truck and tries to treat her wound. Then her eyes fall on the old man's gun lying there. Seeing it, Barb says that she must save the girl. After this, Barb starts walking back toward the cabin. On the other side, that they don't have much time. They must finish everything before morning. She says, I worked 10 years in an operation theater, and I know what I have to do. We have to perform the operation near the lake, so that after the snowfall, no evidence remains for the police. And after finishing the work, we will find Barb and kill her too. Now both of them forcibly bring the girl
Toward the car.
but then the old man notices that his gun is not with him. This frightens him. Hearing this, his wife becomes very angry and slaps him hard and tells him
To go toward the lake.
and start the preparations. The old man lifts the heavy equipment and somehow reaches the lake and begins his work so that when his wife brings the girl back, he can complete it. Barb is watching all this from the cabin, and finding the opportunity, she reaches back to the cabin to save the girl. But when she looks into the basement, she does not find the girl there. She uses the old man's tools and somehow pulls the bullet out of her own hand and seals her wound herself. After this, she comes outside the cabin. But just then, the old man arrives there. He attacks Barb and tries to kill her. But in defense, Barb also attacks him with a hammer and points the gun at him. The old man says, Don't kill me. It's not my fault. After this, he tells her the whole truth. He says that his wife is sick, because of which he had to do all this. He says he didn't want to do this. Hearing all this, Barb feels pity for him, but she still doesn't fully trust him. She tells him that if he is truly a good person, then he should go to the nearby town and send the police. From there, he can go to the doctor. The old man promises her, and shivering, comes to his truck.
He gives Barb
the remaining bullets. After this, he drives away from there. Now, as he reaches a little ahead, his wife arrives there. Seeing him, she becomes very angry. But suddenly blood starts flowing from her nose. She tells him that if she leaves from here,
she will die.
You just want to get rid of me. After this, she points the gun at her husband. Now, on the other side, she also shoots at Barb. Barb also fires at her, and one bullet hits the woman's leg. Barb, somehow saving herself, runs toward the woman's car. But inside the car, she sees the old man's dead body, meaning the woman killed her own husband. Barb hides behind the cabin to save herself, but the woman shoots and collapses the roof there. The next morning, the woman brings Barb and Leah near the lake, where her husband had already set up a medical camp. Barb sees a human liver transplant kit inside and understands what the woman is going to do. Actually, the woman wants to remove Leah's liver and transplant it into herself. She tells Barb to tie Leah's hands and lay her on the table. Barb intentionally ties Leah's hands loosely and gives a nail in her hand so she can free herself. After this, the woman shoots Barb and quickly starts preparing for Leah's operation. But Barb is still alive. She gets up and attacks the woman and stabs her with scissors. A fight breaks out between them. And during this, because a lantern falls, fire starts spreading below. Both of them, while fighting, come out of the tent and try to get the gun. But the woman somehow lifts the gun. Now, just as she is about
to shoot Barb,
the bullets are finished. Meanwhile, Leah uses all her strength and frees herself with the nail given by Barb and comes out of the burning tent. Before the woman can attack Leah, Barb handcuffs herself and locks the woman's leg too and throws herself into the hole. Leah jumps into the hole to save Barb, but by then, Barb has already drowned. Leah becomes very sad and starts crying. After this, we are shown that Barb is taking the last breaths of her life, and here in her hand, she has the same box, which contains her husband's ashes. She opens that box and scatters her husband's ashes into that lake. And in this way, Barb, by giving her own life, fulfilled her husband's last wish.